Well, I love history, and and I love people who bring history alive, like Tom Hanks. In so many of his films, he's used the archives for original research. His directors have done that as well, and I love history, and I think we need a much greater degree of civic learning in the United States. Not every state requires government or civics before graduation from high school. There is a huge need for a public understanding of our history, which is a way to help guide our future. And Tom Hanks, whether it's Apollo 13 or Saving Private Ryan, so many different things, he's contributed a great deal to understanding of American life and American thought.
I love what I call kind of marginalized history, sites that aren't maybe first tier. I mean, you walk into Hyde Park, you walk into Monticello, you walk into the National Archives, and you're already in awe. But if you walk into the Benjamin Harrison House on the old north side of Indianapolis on Delaware Avenue, you're probably there to use the bathroom. But the people that work there are so dedicated to that piece of American history, and it is a piece of American history, that if they can convert you and get you interested, they've done, I think, heroic work.
Every patent is here. Every invention that people thought up and maybe made and maybe didn't make is here. It's a whole story of America, from our founding documents, which of course are enshrined here. Everything's here. So it's a question of getting to it that's a little bit hard sometimes.
Well, you start off literally like an archivist, to tell you the truth. You're just trying to find any anecdote, any piece of the historical record that is something beyond tactics or the moment in history. You try to find some little piece of personality that you can slide into just the job. The thing that happens is you realize very, very quickly that for good or for bad, you are creating a document that's going to be put on a shelf and as viewed as worthy of historical study. So if you get it wrong, or if you make something up, or if you just take an easy way out in order to create a fake moment just in order to have a more exciting movie or something like that, that's going to live forever as though it is carved in stone. And so there is the historical aspect of what your responsibility is. But then my job is to put on somebody else's clothes or pretend I'm someone else. And so then after that, you only want to have accurate human behavior by way of what the screenwriter has written and what the director dictates, and what the truth is. It has to be determined while you're there.
And so I was telling that to Tom Hanks tonight, that after I saw the movie, I called up Charlie. This is before he passed away. And I said, "What did you think of the movie?" He said, "What's not to like with Tom Hanks playing me?" Then he said, "However, he really did clean up my act."
I think that's what separates it from everything else, is that you end up portraying people that, everybody knows a story. Everybody knows what the end result is, but you're portraying people who, in 1942 and 1943 and 1944, have no idea what the ending is going to be, and they have to be only in that moment. And so they're dealing with the most human of aspects. They are hungry, they are cold, they are tired, they are scared. And more than anything else, they are in a black zone of not knowing if they are ever going to get home that year, much less in 1946, 47, 48, 49. That's the thing that has to live in a way beyond the fact that everybody knows what the historical record is. And the only way you can do that is in the most human of details.
I don't ever make a film about stuff I know. I make a film about things I want to know about. And so there's never a moment when you get tired. In fact, it is those moments when you hit a roadblock, when the story is becoming elusive, the structure of this episode or that episode isn't really working, that I feel most exhilarated. I don't really like to put my head on the pillow unless I've made one of the films I'm working on better, and that means coming up against problems. Now, if you see problems in a pejorative sense, then it's negative, but if you see each film production as a million problems that just need to be overcome, friction that needs to be resisted, then you've got the best job in the world, which is what I think I have.
Well, it's funny. I didn't quite realize that that's what we were doing. on one hand, I would say I don't do. I like to make up characters and do fake stories as well, but I think I probably 9 or 10 projects that, without my knowing or not, utilize the archives here in order to codify the story that we're telling and these things. So, listen, I'd be here just because I think it's got to be one of the coolest museums I've ever seen. I could spend hours.